Everyone, that does mean welcome. For those of you on the right hand side, wash your hands, arms, feet, legs, shoulders, body closed. It's all wet. Just make sure we're finding our final seats, please. Final seats. Asante Sana. That does mean thank you. And out here in Harambe, we like to say twin day, which means legs. Yep. Jumbo, everyone. Welcome. My name is Ali, and I'll be your safari guide today for Harambe Wildlife Preserve. Just a couple of important safety reminders before we go out and get started. Keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the truck, and remain fully seated at all times.
Should I take them on this one? That would probably no.
Now we are going to get our journey started out here together in the Little Cherry Forest. The animals who live out here in the forest, they like to rely on their natural colors to help camouflage into their surroundings. So keep an extra sharp eye out, but it does look like over to our right, that is the okapi. And actually to our left, they're up on the hill kind of behind us. There's a black and white bird up there. That is the saddle-billed stork. The storks, they get their name from the yellow saddle shape that rests on their bill. They're solitary birds, but if they find a partner, then they are partners for life. Now the okapi that's back there to our right, they're generally very shy and reclusive in nature. They're not too territorial though. You'll often find okapis hidden deep within the forest. Females are generally slightly taller than their male counterparts. And although they kind of resemble zebras with their leg stripes, okapis are actually the closest known living relative to the giraffe. It's because they share a similar skeletal structure and a long prehensile tongue. Straight ahead, up on this hill here, the black rhino. Now the black rhinos, they are the smaller of the rhino species living out here on the reserve, reaching 3,000 pounds. They can reach speeds of 30 miles per hour. Black rhinos are solitary, so that means they'll spend the majority of their life by themselves. To our right, there's one making their way up the hill. There's a darker brown antelope behind those bushes, and that is a bongo. There's also one straight ahead about to cross in front of us. And these lighter tan antelopes to our right, these are the greater kudu. The greater kudu, they're some of the tallest antelopes, standing at about 55 inches just at the shoulder. And those are females there, as only males will carry horns. Now the bongos, they're often referred to as the ghosts of the forest, as they are very rarely seen. Both the male and females will carry their horns. The bongo's horns, they tilt backwards, which helps them get through all the underbrush here in the forest. So we are starting to make our way over towards the Safi River. The river is home to more semi-aquatic animals, so keep an eye out by the water. Look for shadows or bubbles. Those are normally pretty good indicators of some animals. And it does look like up ahead, scattered along the islands down below, are the pink-backed pelicans. And the pelicans, they get their name as they'll turn a pinkish color during their mating season. It's actually the pelican's skin that will change colors and not their feathers. It's kind of just like us humans blushing. And they're colonial nesters, so they'll be anywhere from around 20 pairs of birds to up to 500. And a group is called a pod. In the water to our left, some Nile hippos. Now a group of hippos is called a float. And even though hippos can swim, they are so heavy that they'll just sink down to the bottom and they'll run along the bottom of the water. They like to use the rocks beneath them to help propel themselves forward, holding their breath for several minutes at a time. An adult male hippo, they can reach up to around 5,500 pounds. For their size though, they can be a pretty small amount, as they're only eating roughly 80 to 90 pounds of vegetation daily. this is the baobab tree. They'll go leafless up to about 9 months out of the year. They're often referred to as the upside down tree. This kind of looks like they have roots that stick up in the air. Another pretty common name for them is the tree of life. That's because they can store thousands of gallons of water in their trunks at a time.
Okay, you didn't have to worry about the sun. I threw the picture because she had a light on and it like the sun.
Here we are starting to make our way into the largest part of the reserve, the savannah. And the savannah, it is home to Africa's much more popular and iconic wildlife. And to our right are some wildebeest, as well as the Ankole cattle laying down. Now the Ankole cattle, they're also known as the Watusi cattle. That's after the Watusi tribe, who were the first to domesticate them. And those horns of theirs, they might look like they'd be very heavy. They actually have a honeycomb-like structure on the inside. And that helps them in their blood circulation and keeping their body temperature regulated. But it does look like straight ahead, just on the other side of these bushes, I can see someone running around back here. And these are the African painted dogs. And now these dogs, they have incredibly unique coat patterns. They can actually identify one another from a pretty large distance. But don't let the dog's cuteness fool you. They are the most successful predator. These dogs, they outrank any large cat. And they're led by an alpha male, alpha female pairing. Now it does look like also up ahead here to our left, these are the sable antelopes. And the sable antelopes, they are the official emblem out here of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. They have an average lifespan of around 10 years. The coats on the males, they'll darken as they mature. They're a dominant male-led species. It's actually the dominant female who leads them in their movements. And they have those horns of theirs, which they use to help establish their dominance in both fighting and sparring, as well as love and courtship. Also to our left, the Maasai giraffe. And this large tan antelope here, this is the eland. Now elands, they stand at around 6 feet tall. They actually have the ability to jump about 8 feet straight up into the air from a standstill position. They're one of the largest antelopes. Fully grown, females reach around 1,400 pounds, while the males, they can make it all the way up to 2,000 pounds. And it does look like there's another eland to our left at the top of that hill there. And it also looks like there's a couple more wildebeest up ahead. Now wildebeest is Afrikaans, meaning wild beast. Over 1.5 million of them will migrate across Africa every single year. A lot of people, they often refer to the wildebeest as gnus, G-N-U-S. That's after the sound that they make, as it sounds like wildebeests are just repeatedly saying the word new. But that Maasai giraffe back there, fully grown, they'll stand at around 18 to 20 feet tall. And just like our fingerprints, their spot patterns are unique to each and every one of them. The giraffes, their tongues are a bluish purple in color. The theory is that helps prevent any sunburn, as they spend the majority of their days awake and eating, as they're only sleeping roughly 30 minutes a day. And it's not one 30-minute nap they take, it's a bunch of little naps scattered throughout the day. To our right, way up ahead there, there's some tiny little antelopes towards the top of the hill. Those are the springboks. Now springboks are small, only standing at around 3 feet tall. What they lack in height though, they make up for in speed. So they're one of the top 10 fastest animals in the world, reaching speeds of 50 to 60 miles per hour. And they get their name, which means springing buck, as they can spring around 6 feet up into the air and roughly 13 feet when going forward. When they do that, it is called pronking. Because of the Springbok's speed and their jumping capability, they are mascots for a bunch of sports teams over in South Africa. And it does look like up ahead here on the right, the African elephants. Now, African elephants, if you look at those ears, they somewhat resemble the continent of Africa. And actually, if you look over to our left, right in the middle behind those trees, the mandrill monkey. And the mandrills, they are the largest monkey species. The adult males, they'll reach up to about 50 pounds.
Oh my god.
The females, they'll stop growing at around 20 to 25 pounds. Mandrills are known for their red and blue facial markings. And a pretty famous mandrill with the Rafiki from the Lion King. But the elephants back there, their ears are also filled with blood vessels. So by just flapping their ears, the elephants can actually cool themselves off up to about 15 degrees. So it's like the elephants have their own little cooling system built right in.
Love
Good luck. We are starting to make our way through some red clay pits. These are a great source of minerals for all the animals out here. You often see the elephants come by. They'll take their tusks and help extract minerals. As it works with you and I taking a deeply bite in. And there are some tusk marks here on the right, which could mean we might be able to find more elephants up ahead. Now the elephants, they do live in a matriarchal society, so it is the females who run the show. And the boys, they'll kick themselves out of the herd as they mature. That happens during the elephant's teenage years. The boys will go on to live alone, or they'll form a small bachelor herd, roughly just a few other male elephants. But one way we can help protect many animals out here, especially the elephants, is by recycling products that contain coltan. And actually, if you look to our right, you can get a much closer view of the Springboks here. But coltan, it's a metallic ore which you'll find in cell phones, laptops, tablets, and a bunch of other smaller electronics. It's known to last forever, so it's important that we do our best to recycle as many of those products as we can, so we can stop the need for mining for more, help protect the homes of these animals all across the world.
Why are these bodies of water this color?
And it does look like just around the corner here are the greater flamingos. Now the greater flamingos, they are the lightest in color and largest of all flamingo species. They get that pink coloration from the beta carotene, which is found in their diet of mainly brine shrimp. It does take roughly around 2 to 3 years though for that pink color to start developing. As when baby flamingos hatch, they are a very light gray color. And a group of flamingos like this is called a flamboyance. We have just made our way over to the eastern side of the savannah. This giant mud pit to our left, this is the mudwalla. It's created here by some white rhinos. The rhinos will come by, take a mud bath, then will brush their horns up against all of the trees and the rocks. As their horns are made out of keratin, just like our fingernails. So by brushing their horns up against all the trees, they're filing down their horns, just like we would our fingernails. get a bit bigger than the black rhino we spotted earlier, reaching 5,000 pounds. They can also reach speeds of 35 miles per hour.
He's not going very fast.
Now, white rhinos, they do prefer hanging out in groups, so I would definitely keep an eye out for some more rhinos. A group of rhinos is called a crash. We have also made our way into some cat territory, so keep a sharp eye out on this left-hand side. There might be some cheetahs hanging out all the way in the back. They do have over 1,000 spots on their body though, which makes it much easier for them to blend into their surroundings. It does seem pretty quiet back here. Keep moving forward and see what else we might be able to find up ahead. And if you look towards the top rocks, there is a female lion up there. And at the bottom is the male.
Oh, I didn't get to see them. Look at her. Look, she's sleeping, Mom.
Now, in a lion pride, it will be the female to go out and do the hunting,
Look at him.
while the males, they'll stay back, guard the territory, and any cubs. One of the theories why the females go out and do the hunting is that they weigh significantly less. As they don't have those manes to carry, making them just a bit faster than the boys.
Oh, I'll give it video.
Plus, look like the rest of the white rhinos are up ahead here.
So we got the rhino.
Now, in lions, when they roar at their full power, you can hear that roar from around 5 miles away. It does just sound like there is an animal blocking the road, just 1 or 2 trucks in front of us. They have since gotten out of the way though, so we should be back on the move here in just a moment. But we might get caught for the white rhino walking into the road. Looks like they're gonna drink from the puddle. We are gonna see what this rhino in front of us does. Looks like I'm gonna head up the hill there. So we can go get another view of the line. Looks like they're gonna start running once again.
Look, he's running. Oh, look at him up there.
Oh, he's going.
But the lions here, they do have pretty comparable daytime vision to ours. Their nighttime vision, though, is roughly 6 times more powerful than our nighttime vision. And the lions, they'll typically rest around 16 to 20 hours a day. They are much more active during the nighttime. But it actually looks like the second female is up on the highest rock back here.
Wow. How they even get up there? Wow.
Now it does look like there are some ostriches straight ahead, right in front of that truck up there. So we should be able to get a much closer view of them. It doesn't look like they're blocking the road currently.
They're so funny. Have you ever seen
But before we get to the ostrich, we should get another view of those white rhinos once again.
Video.
And the white rhinos, they get their name not from their color, but actually due to the mistranslation of the Afrikaans word vite. Vite means wide. I was referring to their mouth shape. They have very wide mouths. While black rhinos, they have a pointed, prehensile upper lip.
You finish your album.
But the ostriches up ahead, although they have wings, they are flightless. They instead use those wings of theirs to help them change directions as they run. They can reach speeds of 40 miles per hour. These two here are both females. You can tell from the coloration of their feathers. Females have that lighter gray tone to them, while male ostriches have dark gray, basically jet black feathers. Those are their eggs laying there. Now ostrich eggs, they are incredibly strong. A grown adult can actually stand on one and not even crack them. Just about 1 ostrich egg is equivalent to 2 dozen chicken eggs. They'll both weigh around 3 to 4 pounds.
I know that. You can buy that. Dad likes them. You could never
Now our final stop here, this is the Warden's Post. Warden takes care and protects all the animals who live out here. And right now it does look like there's a bunch of Nigerian dwarf goats hanging out, taking shelter from the light rain. And these goats, they are small, but they're fully grown. This is as big as they'll get. They're incredibly playful, friendly, and social animals. Their playing will actually help them with their maturity. And these goats, they do have a tremendous sense of balance. So you'll oftentimes find them climbing up on top of all of the Warden's belongings. And occasionally the goats, they like to climb up on top of the roof. But we did just find a bunch of really cool animals out here. Each and every one of them needs our help. And that can be just as simple as reducing, reusing, and recycling. So going out and getting those reusable water bottles, straws, even silverware, it's all a great way to start reducing all of that plastic waste. And making sure that we recycle as much paper as we can. That way we can help out all of those animals out there who really rely on trees for their survival. Remember, when we all do a little, together we do a lot. So go out there, make those differences, spread your knowledge, and together we can help out all of those animals. And if there are any wilderness explorers on board, you guys have been riding on the Simba 1